is. We're about 4 minutes from the race. The only problem is the Greyhounds aren't here with us. They're still over there. There's a massive crowd rolled in, and they've all basically come for this particular Greyhound. It's Brett Lee, number 6. We might be able to get a shot of it over there with cameramen everywhere tonight. But Brett Lee, Darren McDonald, we spoke with him earlier. There was a bit of a doubt about this Greyhound. 24 hours ago, I went out on a limb and said this Greyhound would be battling to make it. They've had a lot of reflecting on what they would do with the trainer, Darren McDonald, and one of the lucky owners, Darryl Johnston. They've decided to run Brett Lee, and the Greyhound is about to take its line up in the Macy's Bistro Warrnambool Classic. We've got a Ballarat Greyhound race, I think, coming up. Let's go to that, and then we'll come back when these Greyhounds get to the boxes for the Macy's Classic.
Righto, Andrew. Actually, we're not covering Ballarat tonight, but we'll be heading back to Andrew shortly. These runners will be on the track in the next minute or so and heading around to the start here for the Warrnambool Classic final. And there's Brett Lee on your screens at the moment. And this race, of course, carries $50,000 to the winner. And he's been set for this race a long time ago, Brett Lee, and he's made it through to the final. Hasn't quite panned out the way enthusiasts expected. Most expected that Big Smig would be in the final tonight, offering the stiffest opposition. But of course, Big Smig was run out last week in a semi-final when he finished third. And Brett Lee, there he goes, his ears pricked, so he's right on the job. Now, the market again. Flying Ruler is, well, he's got admirers. He's at $9.80. Number 1, Flying Ruler. Number 2, Ken Kenya. Andrew's already spoken with young Matthew Herman. This is the first Greyhound he's ever trained, and he's into a big race final, $32. Number 2, Ken Kenya. 3, Thunderlight, one of the 2 in the race for Graham Bate, at $12. 4, Faithful Angel is at $35. He's trained by Tony Baker. 5, Speed of Light, a little brother, and Kennelmate of Thunderlight at $17. And then Brett Lee is $1.30. Flashy Tuscadero, number 7, is at big odds. It's at 17, and Vitalik, who's got a hope out deep of at least running into the placings, showing $12. There they go. They're on their way to the boxes now for race number 6, the Macy's Bistro Warrnambool Classic Final. Race taken out last year by Our Daisy. In fact, Norm McCulloch dominated the race last year by providing a trifecta. So $9.70 for Flying Ruler, $34 Ken Kenya, $11 Thunderlight, $38 Faithful Angel, $17 Speed of Light, Brett Lee's $1.30, Flashy Tuscadero at $17, and Vitalik is now at $12. Very colourful scenes at Warrnambool this evening, and shortly to John O'Flaherty for his call. 5th at Bulleye, official totes 128, Quinella paid $8.40, and the trifecta there returns 71 even, and it's all clear-eyed to pay. At Ipswich, it was 8, 1 and 3, Hot Vapor, Nitro Trier and Ultimate Fawn. 14.60 Quinella, trifecta paid 192.90. And those totes also official. Now there's the colour tonight at Warrnambool, the young girls who have escorted the Greyhounds around to the boxes for the Warrnambool Classic Final. Big moment for them, but the Greyhounds are well and truly on their way. That was number 1, going past the camera. Okay, there's Brett Lee. Wonder whether we can cross to Andrew. We'll be heading there shortly. Meanwhile at Bulleye, race 6, 3, 4, 7 and 1. Sweet Lyrics is at $4.50. 9.90 Ronelli Bale and Vitness Cup 4. Beretta Betty at $3.20, and then Westies Flash at $10. Now Wagga, the last event in 6 minutes. Preservation Girl on top from Mull Fury, Dandayon and Stormy Morning, 1, 8, 10 and 3. Preservation Girl at $4.20, Run Johnny Run $3.50, $6.80 for Stormy Morning, and 10 Springer Linden down to Ali Ash at $13, Big Odds Mull Fury, but it has figured in the ratings. Big Odds Cardinal Force and Dan Dayon at $4.60. Now back to Warrnambool. I think we might head across to Andrew Bensley for some, no, in fact he's not quite available. Righto, Flying Rulers at 9.60, Ken Kenya 42, 10 for Thunderlight, 44 Faithful Angel, 17 Speed of Light, $1.30 Brett Lee, 24 Flashy Tuscadero and 13 for Vitalik. Simone Britton's gone for 6 to beat 3, 8 and 1. Wangaratta Totes official after the fourth, 2, 4 and 7. Quinella paid 170 and the trifecta 28.90. Here's Andrew at Warrnambool.
So straight on the end of the race. Graham Bates Greyhounds go in, Thunderlight and Speed of Light. And we're on Brett Lee. He's about to go in box 6. The clear favourite in the Macy's Classic. Group 2, 450. Can Brett Lee win it or can there be an upset? Here's John O'Flaherty.
As the Law runs up to the boxes for the 2001 Macy's Bistro final. They're off. And Brett Lee's only fairly away, but he's starting to hit pace now as Thunderlight leads him early. But Brett Lee's about to whistle by. Over on the outside then we've got Speed of Light. Very wide in the track then came Vitalik. They've broken right away then from Flashy Tuscadero. Ken Kenya's well back with second to last Faithful Angel, Flying Ruler last. But up the straight, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a chair. Here he goes, Brett Lee. And let's see what he's run. 25.01 and he scored by 10 lengths over Vitalik. Thunderlight's run third. Fourth home then we had Ken Kenya. At the head of the others then Speed of Light from Flashy Tuscadero. And it was back at the tail there with Flying Ruler. What a greyhound.
Get him over here, mate.
Lots of rumours out here at the racecourse today. They even had him late scratching at 3 o'clock was one rumour getting about. But what a mighty greyhound this greyhound is. 395,000, this money-making speed machine. $395,000 is now in his kitty, plus 246. And also, there's a $20,000 car, which has also been won by Connections for that victory. The Connections of Brett Lee, Daryl Johnson from South Australia, but he's now a Victorian resident. And Darren McDonald, and that's a treble tonight for Darren McDonald. And that's the quick run there by Brett Lee. Not quite as quick as Big Smig can go around here, but 25.01 was a magnificent run. He wasn't first out. He was beaten out by Thunderlight, but he quickly put pay to the opposition when they come up to the corner. It's $1.30 and $1.20. Penny all clear here for Brett Lee. $1.30 and $1.20. $2.10 for the second place getter Vitalik, who ran a terrific race. $2 even for Thunderlight. The Quinella paid $4.70. The Exacta, $9.20. The Trifecta, $26.60, $26.60. The running double for 7 and 6 returns a dividend of $2.30. Race time there, 25.01. I'd say that's the fastest classic we've had here at...
with Darren McDonald now after the all clear's been given. Congratulations to you, Darren.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah.
You can walk down, mate. We can walk down. How did you feel through it, mate? Because he jumped, but the 3 kicked up on the inside.
Yeah, I was worried because he's got a problem and he has seemed to not get round the bends as well, but when I seen him go to the front of the home turn, I thought, no, they're not going to catch him now, but it was probably...
He pinged there, just coming into the straight, didn't he?
Yeah, he gets round the bends, he's okay, but it's, we're just lucky it's a horseshoe and he got across, we're just glad it's over.
Is this the hardest week you've put in your training ranks?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. I've tried to run the race 100 times every night in my head, just, wondering what's going to happen, and it's happened the way I want it, and just touch wood, he pulls up okay, he'll have a good break now and we'll bring him back for some of the other races.
So you'll spell him now?
Oh, without a doubt, yeah, he's earned a spell.
And 24 hours ago, would it be fair enough to say he wasn't going to run?
Oh, it was a 50-50, and we waited to see what he's like this morning.
59 is the journey to the winning post in 1.
Injury rumours surfacing early last week. Wasn't going to make it to the semis, and he did. And as John O'Flaherty mentioned, it was supposedly a late scratching early this afternoon. But he's made it, and he's carried off the $50,000 winner's cheque. Now, Ipswich is due to go shortly as they're heading onto the track. Future Light is out. Secret...
For the presentation, we've spoken with Darren McDonald, but Daryl Johnston is here. Daryl, how did you feel about it tonight?
I was a little bit nervous going in. I think that's an understatement. Absolutely sick. Yeah.
It's the hardest. Darren's told us it's been the hardest week for him this week, just as an owner of this outstanding greyhound. For you?
Yeah, I think Darren's just done an absolutely marvellous job with the dog. It's just incredible how he's got the dog to the track tonight.
That's a cardboard cut out of the money, but the car's over there, mate. Are you going to be driving it home?
No,
Too many
I've been
champagne.
drinking the champagne, yeah. Got a bit of a problem with this. I have to drink
How
this.
good is this greyhound?
I got just phenomenal to us. Been unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. How we got through tonight was 50, wasn't even 50-50, but we've ended up taking the chance that he's won. So it's just a credit to Alex Hoyle and Darren McDonald and his family. It's been absolutely marvellous.
What do you think through the run there with the 3 in the inside of you?
Absolute heart attack we had. Darren thought he let all the way. We just told him he missed the start.
All right, well done to you, Darryl.
Right, thank you very, very much.
Okay, have a glass of champagne, can you?
Yeah, I'm shaking, Jim.
Okay. Darryl Johnson.
There we go, Darryl Johnson speaking with Andrew Bensley. And Darryl Johnson, of course, has prepared and owned some of the best dogs ever to grace South Australian racetracks over the years. He had a dog going back about 18 years ago called Superstar, and it was beautifully named. It was exactly that, and I'd suggest that that was probably the best dog that Darryl had owned or trained up until Brett Lee came along, but I don't think he envisaged that he'd come across another superstar in the shape of a Brett Lee, but well done to him. And, well, Brett Lee going for a spell, so he's going to be off the scene for a while, and I guess most of us will get withdrawal symptoms, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, at Wangaratta, race number, they arrive at the boxes. Bull-Eyed Totes after the previous race 7, November Opal from Betsy Ross and Johnny Belinda. Quinella paid 37 even, and the trifecta returned 123.50. So it's all clear right to pay. As we head back to Warrnambool, and Big Smig is all the rage here. Number 6 at $1.40. And then $9.60 for Our Girl Greer. As we go across and join John O'Flaherty.
Was 25.01. Big Smig, of course, he holds a track record here. He's the only greyhound to ever break 25 seconds here. He's done that on 2 occasions. The most recent was on the 18th of April when he went 24.81. He's won 25 from 43. As they're moving up now, Our Girl Greer. Okay, thanks, Michael. As they're just about set here, Big Smig, $1.40, Tote favourite. He exits box number 6, which should suit him a lot better than the box 3 he had last week. Now, Our Girl Greer, King Shiraz, Joyful Jet, Draco Dash, Magnemize, Big Smig, Roman Honcho, and from the outside we have True King. There's the green light. Set for a start for the third leg of the quaddie. Away they go. Big Smig's away with them tonight. And the leader early was Joyful Jet. But here he goes. Big Smig. Look at him go. He's by 2 lengths. Draco Dash going through underneath him. There was Magnemize now. And they've got away from at the head of the others there. Roman Honcho. Over on the inside there. Further back came King Shiraz. And as they swing for home, well out of its ground came True King. But Big Smig's the leader up the straight. Have a look at this last section he can run. Big Smig down to the line. Hello, 24.94. Thank you very much. Can he go? Second money has gone to Magnemize. Now third in the event, maybe True King there. But boy, can he go? King Shiraz is up there for third. Further back then came Draco Dash and Roman Honcho back towards the tail with Joyful Jet. He would have the most scintillating last burst of speed around this track that I have ever seen. And after watching that money-making speed machine in the previous event, here's another great run by Big Smig. He's broken 25 seconds now on 3 occasions, and it was bad luck that they weren't both in the Macy's Bistro Warrnambool Classic. Magnemize has run a good race for second, and third placing going to King Shiraz. But I think the big crowd that's here tonight will give Big Smig and his owner trainer Wally Harris, it's by Light of Fire, Paulina Lou, a big hand. So it's also been a big night for Walter because Sunderlight ran third in the previous event, the Classic. Second, Magnemize is quite a good run for Chris Johansson, and 2, King Shiraz showing a return to form there. Our Girl Greer never really in it with True King was a terrible run. It's not racing well, but all on us with Big Smig, who is a terrific greyhound, has now won 26 from 44. So the quaddie is looking very thin now. On the tote, he's paid $1.30 and $1.30 and $1 for Big Smig. Magnemize second, returns $1.80 to King Shiraz third, $2.30. $1.30, $1, $1.80, $2.30. The Quinella is $5 even, 5 even. The Exacta is $6.30, $6.30. Trifecta for 6, 5 and 2, $32 even. And a pretty popular running double on a pair of 6s that paid $1.60, $1.60. 6 lengths the winning margin there, 5.5 lengths separated second and third. And the sectional times there was 6:49, 12.23, 6.49, 12.23, and his come home time there was 12.71 to run a time of 24 and 94. And there's the all clear now for 6, 5 and 2 after the Carlton Draft Stan Lake Memorial. Final leg of the quaddie in Victoria, the Super Tab quaddie. Scratch 3 and 10, 9 Sweet Silk up into 3, the Norlane Hotel Warrnambool Cup final, and that event is time to start at 9:40.
Thank you, John. That was John O'Flaherty with race number 7, and Big Smig running the quickest time of the night, 24.94. Generally considered as Brett Lee's arch rival, but you can't really call him his arch rival because they've hardly met. I think the only time they met, well, the only time I can remember, was in the Australian Cup final when Brett Lee, of course, whizzed away to win and win quite comfortably. But Greyhound enthusiasts have been trying to get them to meet in the same race ever since, but no luck so far. But there they go. They've dominated the scene once again tonight at Warrnambool, and talk about upstaging the Warrnambool Cup. Something very special will have to be produced in that, in the Cup tonight, and that's coming up next at the Ball. Ipswich race 8 as they arrive.
Box, and you know, we're just hoping for the best here. You know, she's capable of winning, but you know, if the breaks go her way, but. You know, we'll just see what happens, yeah.
All right, Brookside Fawn's your other runner here from box 7. You were telling me just prior to coming on air you really want to boxes 1 and 8 for your runners.
I would like that, yeah.
Yeah, what about box 7, Brookside Fawn?
Well, that's not, you know, that won't do any harm out there. He's come back from a bad injury, and last week was his first glimpse of form, and he can only improve. That's one thing I can say. You know, if he gets a clear run, he'll improve on last week.
All right, good luck to you, Al, with your 2 runners.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, mate. Alan Britton joining us. He's got the 4 and the 7. The Warrnambool Cup will come back very shortly, Dean, with the thoughts from Simone Britton.
Thank you, Andrew, as they're about to move up now at Wangaratta. And that's the scene, about to be called up now, the update. There's only a few in the market. Life's a Beach, 5.30, 9.80 the Zipper, 3.60 Key to Freedom, and the Town Scandal. And those rumours are firming. It's at $2.10. Right, over to Lachlan shortly. Now Ipswich.
Wang will get the thoughts from Simone Britton. You're going with the red here, Bev's Charlie.
Yeah, Bev's Charlie. This dog's got very fast sectionals to his credit, and he is a leader, and I think box 1 will do him a favour. Right. Over number 5, Evan Jackson, a greyhound who has early pace and does run straight. He has had 2 good runs here at Warrnambool. Number 7, Brookside Fawn. This greyhound is very well boxed and does have early speed. I think he could get a clear run, and he will be better with having another run. He was off with some injury. And then number 8, Miss Tantine, a sentimental favourite. Box 8 is a really good box here at Warrnambool, and she looks to be running back into some form. So expect to see a good run from Miss Tantine.
So it's 1, 5, 7 and 8. Alan, we've spoken to, has a couple of runners, and I note that husband Jeff is walking the 7, Brookside Fawn.
Well, he has a liking for Brookside Fawn, and I think he's thinks that he might be walking back past a winner's post first. So that's why he's got Brookside Fawn in his hand.
I reckon he'll cop the 20,000 if he does, though. I reckon Al will keep that.
Yeah, we've asked him for a tip, but it just hasn't come about.
Okay. All right, it's 1, 5, 7 and 8. Good luck, Simone.
Thanks,
I think you went all right in the Macy's Classic a couple of races ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I did get the trifecta there, and Big Smig, Quinella in the last race.
Yeah,
doing okay.
All righty. 1, 5, 7 and 8. Simone Britton's thoughts for the Warrnambool Cup, and we'll be back straight after Wangaratta with some coverage from the boxes just before the big race begins.
And they are moving up at Wangaratta now for take 2 here with the Town Scandal, the favourite over Key to Freedom. Now the next at Ipswich, this is race number 8, and they've just arrived at the boxes, and there's the latest market with Bev's Charlie at 2.80, Old Mill 7.60, 7.40 for Limburg Lass, 10 Evan Jackson, 20 Safety Net, 15 Brookside Fawn, Miss Tantine at 3.60, and Sweet Silcab is now 15. Simone's late mail, she's gone 1 to beat 5, 7 and 8, and they'll move up shortly. Now Bulleye, race 9, rating 6147, Wallabra Lad is the top rater. Sonia's Present's $1.90 in favourite though, number 1. 3 Initial at 15, Opulence at 8.10, Token Varby 22, Wallabra Lad 9.90. Forget the Rest at 4.30, El Garouge 32, Sunset Stampede at 20. So the favourite number 1, Sonia's Present at $1.90 for the next at Bulleye coming up in 10 minutes. I think we might join Andrew Bensley at Warrnambool.
going into a cup final, this greyhound's used to it, just jumps good from the pink and you'll be right there?
Yeah, I hope she jumps and she'll be a good chance.
You're going to know probably by the first turn?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you, Tina.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty, we've spoken with the Britons. We've spoken with, who else will we need to catch here? Evan Jackson's over here. Here we go. This is not Pauline Patterson, I can guarantee you. But the greyhound's about to go behind. You happy with the 5 going in?
Yep.
All right, get in there, mate, because they're being called up. The greyhound's behind the boxes here now. Simone Britton's thoughts here were 1, 5, 7 and 8. Bev's Charlie, the top tip from Evan Jackson, Brookside Fawn and Miss Tantine. Our camera going right behind the boxes here as we did earlier with the Macy's Bistro Classic. And as we look at the tote, Bev's Charlie is the tote favourite. We saw earlier Brett Lee win. We've seen Big Smig win. Who's going to win the Warrnambool Cup? Sponsored by the Norlane Hotel at Geelong. John O'Flaherty about to call. I'm not too sure what number, but he's used to it here at Warrnambool. Here's John.
Safety net. Okay, thanks, Andrew. They're just about set. $2.20. Bev's Charlie runs tote favourite as the green light goes up. Betting ceases. Another good pool here for this event. They're away on racing. Bev's Charlie's missed it. First out was Safety Net is going to lead, but through underneath it goes Sweet Silk Cab, the reserve. Evan Jackson's up to third. Around the outside, Brookside Fawn starting to show a bit of dash, but they jammed up, and this allows Sweet Silk Cab to shoot about 5 in front. Getting out of the pack, doing the chasing now was Bev's Charlie. Miss Tantine's well back. So too there were Limburg Glass, Brookside Fawn, Safety Net, but it's all a reserve, and another one for bait. Sweet Silk Cab scores by 6 lengths. Bev's Charlie second, 3 away third came Evan Jackson. Next time we had Old Mill, further back to Brookside Fawn. Then came Safety Net, who ran a surprisingly good race. Limburg Glass, Miss Tantine, she was never ever in it tonight, and she was one of the last one in. 25 and 34 the race time for the Norlane Hotel Warrnambool Cup and the reserve. Trained by Graham Bate at Lara, raced by George Backless. Sweet Silk Cab. Tonight's her first win here. She's been here 5 times now, and that's her first victory on the track, but she's been placed the 4 other occasions, and she was too good. One has run second, blew the start, Bev's Charlie, from that inside draw by Head Honcho out of Best of Bev for Bev Beasley at Eagle Hawk. At number 5, third, Evan Jackson by Malawi's Pride out of Guru Lady, AJ&R Cranmer, Pauline Patterson at Little River. Looking for pretty healthy dividends here with Sweet Silk Cab taking that event out. Tonight's daily double, which paid on 6 and 9, $32.40. And tonight's quaddie, 7 double 6 9, it should pay of $151.90. So Sweet Silk Cab injecting a bit of value there for race number 8. Bev's Charlie, she blew the start, and that was disappointing for him. Now Sweet Silk Cab pays $19 for the win. $4.90 the place, 1 Bev's Charlie, a place dividend of $1.30, and 5 Evan Jackson, $2.70. $19, $4.90, $1.30, $2.70, $13.90 for the Quinella, the Exacta, $70 even, the Trifecta, $357.10, the running double, 6 and 9, $28.80, the daily double, 6 and 9, $32.40, the quaddie, 7 double 6 9, $151.90. Margins there were 5.5 lengths by 2 3/4. 5.5 by 2 3/4. 6.57 of the first marker, 12.53, 25.34 the time, and the all clear is not there with us for the numbers 9, 1, 5, race 8. Race 9, scratch number 6, a field of 8 at 10 past 10, and it's all clear now for race number 8.
Righto, John. Sweet Silk Cab causing an upset, getting a run off the reserve bench and beating Bev's Charlie and Evan Jackson. And Andrew Bensley is going to be joined by Joe Briffer. Joe, of course, represents the Graham Bate Kennel as we head to Andrew Bensley with Joe Briffer.
Okay, we're back, walking back with Joe Briffer. I tell you something, he'll be watching us now back in his luxurious mansion at Lara. He should have come, shouldn't he, Graham Bate?
Yeah, he should have come. He was going to come, but yeah, too much work to do. That comes first, mate.
Well, 12 months ago it was Canton Bale. Tonight, probably the upset, the reserve getting in. How did the stable think about going in from your box and everything?
Oh, yeah, we're feeling pretty confident. She's a pretty smart little bitch, this one, but yeah, she went really good time at Sandown, 29.94, about 3 weeks ago. Just found a bit of trouble the last couple of starts, but no trouble tonight.
The pace, you were pretty happy with things going, towards the home turn, weren't you?
Yeah, once she was in front of Andrew, she was home, mate.
Yeah.
No worry, no doubt about it.
But the stables had a bit of an opinion.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, can we go on and win the Perth Cup with Canton Bale?
No doubt about it.
Is Graham going over there for that one?
I think he is, mate. I think he is.
Anyway, things are going pretty well over there for him with Canton.
Yeah, they sure are, Andrew. Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic,
Well,
mate. Thank you.
There we go. Joe Briffa joining us representing Graham Bate. They've won the Cup 2 years in a row, Canton Bale a year ago, and now the reserve, Sweet Silk Cab. I'm working to a camera, they tell me. I'm not too sure where it is, but what a win. Graham Bate, they've won the Cup again.
Yeah, here we are, Andrew. Sweet Silk Cab, 19 even and 490. Bev's Charlie, 130. Evan Jackson, 27. Look, I didn't think I'd ever hear the day that Andrew Bensley would say he couldn't find a camera. Unbelievable. You've heard it first here on Sky Racing tonight. Quinella paid 13.90 and the try returned 357. 25.34 the winner's time. That's a very handy gallop, and obviously the bait camp have got a high opinion of Sweet Silk Cab, particularly when she leads, because she's almost unbeatable, and she showed it tonight once she found the lure. Absolutely speared away for a big win. Now Bullite.